next player for compLexity is going to be Heart. He's the blue Terran down in the bottom right of Entombed Valley. Way up here on the top side, we have FXO.Choya once again playing for FXO after already taking 2 pretty quick wins, quick decisive wins against Trimaster and Rise. And yeah, Entombed Valley, we've got vertical spawns here. How do you think this might play out, Frank?
This is always kind of what ends up being a 3-base versus 3-base map usually in PvT. And you know, Choya is sometimes known for doing 4 gates, things like that, but Heart not so much, and I'd expect this to go kind of into a mid-game macro game where it ends up being, you know, that giant Protoss death ball with Heart trying to figure out ways to surf and vent it. You know, do some pressure, but play safe at the same time.
All right, neither player actually doing anything crazy just yet. I don't see any, you know, SCVs or probes running around all over the map trying to set up any proxies or anything like that. So at least Heart is going to try and do something pretty stable, unlike Trimaster's Daybreak ploy to try and do that Hellion drop. So both players actually just content to keep building at home. It looks like Choya is going to be the first one to scout with that Gateway probe, not building a pylon on the low ground to try and take a quick expansion or anything like that, just building that first gateway up inside of his main to stay safe.
And he is actually scouting immediately the right direction. Pretty lucky, and we'll see. I don't actually know if Heart is blocked yet.
Nope, shouldn't be.
Yeah, so Choya is actually going to see that he went for a very quick gas, and we're not going to see a Marine expand. We're going to see a quick tech up from Heart. And Choya, knowing this, will be able to adjust his build accordingly.
That's right, and of course we didn't really know what he had in mind, but obviously if he wants to, he can play pretty aggressively here, go for that mass gateway build again and try and get some damage done with stalkers and stuff like that. Cybernetics core coming down now.
What?
What?
Oh, what?
What? I just didn't like where he put it, I guess.
He just that's only for SimCity. There's no other reason to do that.
Yeah, but this SimCity is like nothing.
Yeah,
there's no form to this at all, right here and right here. Oh, maybe, so he can fit another gateway
probably
there?
Another gateway there is the only thing I can think of.
Not even necessary, though.
Yeah, that's
not blocking his mineral line or anything.
Yeah, I don't know. But maybe just pure misclick. But actually now you see Choya going 2 gas, so he's going to have a little delayed expansion. We're having a series of Macaraxes so far.
I've seen this barracks placement before. I didn't like it the first time either, though.
Still don't like it. It literally makes no sense to me. You're not closer to your opponent, and you're further away from your own base.
But he is hiding it. At least
He's kind of hiding it, but so it is a 2 racks from Heart.
There was a chance Choya would have scouted it, actually, if he had just been a little bit more curious.
So
but the SAV is definitely going to get
Heart doing something a little bit different than he usually does. He's going for, I don't know if this is a 2 racks expand or 2 racks all in, but definitely going to be some 2 racks pressure, I'd imagine.
He didn't even check the second assimilator.
Yeah, kind of sloppy games from both players so far. So he is double gas after 2 racks. This build has me very confused right now, actually, because usually don't see double gas when you're doing a 2 racks build, but he's going for, I'd imagine, concussive for Marauders. Yeah, and there we go. So quick Marauder Marine, and we'll see how much pressure he decides to put Choya with this, because I can't imagine you would go this build if you were planning on just dropping a command center after it.
Yeah, I wanted to click concussive shells and actually have it start because I knew he was going to build it. I was just trying to make it look cool, but he started the Marauder first and then concussive after. Either way, this is kind of a build that we see a lot in TVP. The fact that the second barracks is hidden could shake things up a little bit. Choya obviously did not scout it yet. So he has no idea that this is going on. Obviously, there's still a certain number of builds that he can do to just stay safe against anything.
And 2-gate Robo from Choya.
Still didn't use this space that he cleared.
I haven't actually seen this build in PvT in a little bit. 1-gate, 1-gate Robo into expand is more normal. But wow, actually Choya now is going to scout all of those units. And he sees that this large train is making his way across the map. He had a scout die.
Where did he? Oh, the scout die.
Yeah, a scout die there. Yeah.
Okay.
So he needs to build an immortal quickly, and he is. And he's building more pylons so he doesn't get blocked. This is a very scary push. I don't know if he's going to have enough to deal with this. Stim obviously will not be done, and he has the sentries. Choya and Heart might just turn away after the force fields, but if he gets off that ramp, I don't know if Choya's going to be able to defend that.
Yeah, Heart is expanding behind this. Obviously, third sentry is going to make a big difference. Scan up the cliff is a great idea, but
almost got one of them.
Force field range is pretty long. He can hold this off for quite a while. The Immortal can actually blast down and maybe force another scan, but look at that. He's actually like in stasis. He just used like an Arbiter spell on him.
Oh, wow, and he's actually going to bunker up while he's expanding. Very smart.
Yep.
Stim is not done though, so he's gonna have to be very careful with that army.
That's right. I don't really expect him to get a lot of damage done, but this contain is quite nice, obviously, as he gets his next command center prepared to go ahead and drop down at the natural. Choya is not really dead, obviously. There's no damage done at all by Heart, except for stalling him a little bit. He's actually just going to move down. He says, I don't want you to contain me anymore.
Oh, wow. Great force fields there, and I think Heart is probably going to lose this entire army, not repairing the bunker. 2 Immortals going to take that down really quickly, and now he has almost nothing. Choya completely breaking that contain out in style.
That was like the earliest possible time he could have done it and just totally smash it like that. Very good timing from Choya to just say, you know what, screw it. I need that Nexus. I don't want you here anymore.
And now Heart is going to be on the defensive because he has 2 Immortals and he could break down bunkers very quickly like we just saw. He already has a forward pylon that he's been warping in from, and he has an observer to see there's no bunkers here at all.
All right, so Choya with the counterattack, like you said, this could do a lot of damage. Obviously, these sentries do have enough for a Guardian Shield and perhaps a Force Field or 2.
Oh, wow, he does scout the proxy racks now.
Oh, yeah, he did. Ow. That hurts. Heart is going to lose that Tech Lab. Stim did finish, thankfully, for Heart. He's going to enjoy that, but obviously he doesn't have any medevacs overhead or anything like that. His tech is basically just catching up now, getting that starport put onto the reactor. There's an open hole here. If Choya actually moves in, he can basically just plant himself in there, bring a probe down, and try to do some warp ins, but he's actually content to just blast down these depots. He knows that Heart really can't poke forward here. If he does stim, he's not going to be able to heal back up for a little while. So Choya in a very good position here, actually flipping the table, flipping the script, and keeping Heart contained in his own base. There is a pylon pretty close by to be able to do some warp ins. I'm surprised he hasn't built another closer one, but Choya could have actually done more damage here than he realizes, I think.
Yeah, I think Choya probably could have just gone up and killed him there. He's erring on the side of caution, but the main issue is that Heart only has 1 barracks that whole time that was producing units.
The observer got taken out as well, though.
Ah, so that's one of the
I think they did a scan.
Okay, and actually now Choya is transitioning very quickly to go for Colossus, which could really, really hurt Heart because his army is very small still.
Yeah, it's going to be very difficult for Heart to break out of his base, so he is going to try this drop technique instead.
And Choya does not see it, so he's going to have to go for a base trade. There's no way he'll be able to get back in time to defend that.
That's right. He's going to... Oh, he doesn't have to go for a base trade. He has a lot of weapons available. If he sticks close to his probes, he spots it.
Now he sees it. Now he's leaving. That's just so much for you to try to warp in and kill at once. Yeah, and he's just going for it. Yeah. I don't know how much damage he can do. He already is lifted off, and you never really want to try to base trade with a Terran when your army isn't vastly superior. He does have a better army, but he's not going to be able to make anything else. This is it. This is all he can build for the rest of the game, likely.
Yeah, look at this. Heart actually doing the smart thing here, focusing down the pylons so that all these gateways are unpowered. It does better to just kill the pylons. It's just faster.
Wow,
oh, what is this? Is a huge line of probes.
That's a lot of probes, and he has enough to rebuild a Nexus.
And it looks like Heart is actually just going to be floating away. I don't know if he's going to attempt to retake a base or not with all these buildings.
This could very well end in a draw, actually.
It's possible.
Because
well, I don't know.
Choya has a much stronger army right now.
That's why I don't think it'll end in a draw, because if they do have the land battle finish and all those probes are still alive,
then he can still remake the Nexus, which he is right now.
So I think that Choya does have the stronger land army. You can actually just compare it right now. 7 Stalkers, only 10 Marines, really.
And 5 sentries is the important thing. He can force field really well and Guardian Shield.
Where are they going to distance mine? Are they going all the way back home?
That's not good at all.
He needs to keep those here. He needs to figure it out. There he goes, finally turning his guys around.
Heart actually is just giving up.
He's just floating. But once he loses his army, obviously, actually Choya could return home and kill this too. So he's got a couple of options. Once this Nexus is done, I think it's going to be pretty obvious to both players that it's going to be over 22 supply cap now for Heart. He is going to actually land and drop a mule. I don't think he has any SCVs. Where's SCVs? Oh, they're all tucked up.
Conga line. Oh, now when he's rebuilding depots in the top, that's actually really smart.
And he does have another orbital actually that managed to escape. But inside the main of Choya, he actually still hasn't even finished off these buildings yet. He is actually going to basically reverse the whole game here, but Choya is still with a pretty large standing army, was just hanging out at the top of the ramp to make sure no Marines kind of snuck their way in here. This could be really scary, so he is going to leave some units here just because he knows there are medevacs on the map, doesn't want all these probes to just die horrific deaths alone in the world. The problem here for Heart, of course, if this orbital command starts burning, he's not going to be able to get over there and repair it, or else he'll
he might actually just kill this outright. He has enough damage. Gonna have to, this is going to be really close. See if it starts burning.
I think he will actually be able to get it in the deep red before it's actually out of range. So the Stalker should be able to kill it off. One more volley.
Oh, wow,
there it goes.
They completely kill it. So now he's down to the 1 orbital, and they're on fairly even ground. Oh, that's but it's scouted immediately by that observer.
Yep, the observer finds the last remaining base. You can see the SCVs being dropped now. The observer is seeing all of this. There are only a couple of buildings left for Choya on the map, but he did establish this nexus, and he has a ton of mining going on, so he's going to rebuild very quickly. As soon as his pylons are powered, he can get some gateways back up and do some more warp-ins if he wants to, but I do feel like his standing army is still very good. These Immortals, with quite a lot of kills each, 22 combined, going to blast down those rocks very quickly. There's no defense
no
here.
Defense. GG.
GG.
Very well played by Choya there. Usually do not want to end up base trading with a Terran in that situation, but he did everything right. Very well maneuvered, got the Nexus safe, and just outplayed Heart in that situation.